Sonic Adventure 2 is known across the internet as being one of the greatest 3D platformers ever made, as well as one of the best Sonic games ever made for that matter. Going on record to be called Sonic's greatest ever outing by millions of people, people swear by this game and will probably forever do so, apart from me. You see kids, whereas many of you guys in the early 2000s and late 90s kids will stan SA2, I stan Sonic Heroes, so instantly I'm out of my zone here, but fear not, for this video is my own opinions and they are coming from someone who did 100% Sonic Adventure 2 battle, so I know what I'm talking about before anyone calls me delusional. I have formed an opinion on this game. After all, I've been playing it for 10 plus years now. Okay, so I will admit that Sonic Adventure 2 is undeniably fantastic in regards to its story, taking the serious tone from the last game, cracking that up to 11, but the improved presentation of this game makes it more believable than ever, so it may as well be cranked to 111. Dr. Eggman uncovers Shadow the Hedgehog aboard a military base, the ultimate lifeform created by his grandfather Joe Robotnik. This mysterious black hedgehog goes on to commit a series of felonies while framing Sonic in the process in order to serve Dr. Eggman. Sonic and Co aim to get to the bottom of who Shadow is, while stopping Eggman aboard the space colony Ark, since he's actually a threat to the whole planet thanks to the power of the Chaos Emeralds and the Eclipse Cannon. However, this will all soon backfire on everyone, as the Ark is actually rigged to crash into the Earth if attempted to be overloaded, in which the two Super Saiyan hedgehogs take to space to stop the planet from being destroyed. And that's the story in a very, very brief nutshell, all spoilers included. Well, half a nutshell. The tone is dark, serious, mysterious, while maintaining that Sonic cheese and positivity we all know and love. The gameplay will take on a similar approach to that of its predecessor, minus the whole world sang the mighty Lord Jesus Christ. Instead, we have linear progression with a well set out level select screen when wanting to replay levels. Rather than having 6 stories and therefore 6 gameplay styles, Sonic Adventure 2 opts to half that to 3 stories and 3 gameplay styles, all 3 of which get utilised in every story. Sonic and Newcomer Shadow are the speed stages, the best levels in the game and the most remembered. Those stages encourage the player to make it from point A to point B as fast as possible, while also destroying as many enemies as possible, keeping all the rings, just gathering as many points as possible, in stages that are thoughtfully crafted in neat environments. The treasure hunting stages belong to Knuckles and Newcomer Rouge, and while yes, the system has been noticeably nerfed from Sonic Adventure 1, the levels are still really fun to play and explore, if they're small. The larger levels can be a pain in my ass and not fun at all. And finally, the mech stages are home to Tails and Eggman, yes, a playable Dr. Eggman. These are slow-paced chain-shooting platformers, which are very similar to the Gamma stages from SA1, apart from the controls are pretty janky from what I've experienced in the SAB version anyways, and they're very slow in comparison to the other stages out there. I do adore the speed stages and always revisit them, but I despise the mech stages. They're just not fun, at all. The treasure hunting is fun for the first 2 stages of each character, but after that it gets a bit too large and a little bit too uninteresting. The controls in every stage, apart from the mechs, is tight, responsive, very satisfying, and its weight and physics are fantastic. I have no complaints. Certainly one of the best controlling platformers I have ever played. Something the game always fires on all cylinders with is its soundtrack. I'd be lying if I said this isn't one of the best Sonic OSTs out there, if not one of gaming's best OSTs. The soundtrack is full of diversity, from rock bangers to cheesy rap, smooth jazz, trippy techno. There's something for everyone, and it only ever enhances the gameplay tenfold. There is nothing bad about this soundtrack in my opinion. Every single song is really fun to listen to, if not a vibe, and I just can't fault it. It's definitely one of the best Sonic OSTs out there. To my surprise as well, when I first played the game, the visuals have also aged surprisingly well. The models, while certainly blocky in places, they still look great today and are very expressive in a good way, unlike Sonic Adventure 1. They have this certain charm to them that I can appreciate. The stages look great as well. They even allow for some well done cutscenes that aren't slow and boring this time around. The stages are also quite interesting for the most part, traversing through a city to a jungle, through canyons and a desert to end up in space by the end. The gameplay follows the story and it's engaging as hell because of how masterfully these levels are crafted. In the case of Sonic, Shadow, sometimes the treasure hunts. The mechs fall a bit behind in this department, but that's mainly because of the design philosophy. I really do think they didn't open up a lot of potential for themselves with this mech shooting gameplay. And how can I forget everybody's favourite waste of time, the Chow Garden. Countless hours were wasted here by people, myself included, but only for the PSN trophy and the Steam achievement in my case. If I had the option to play this mode, I would never play it in my spare time personally, because once you've played it, I personally believe you've experienced everything that needs to be experienced with the Chow Garden. I'm not a big fan of the Chow Garden. I apologise if that's just offended a lot of people, but it's just not my kind of game. The game will also feature multiplayer mode as part of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, where you and a buddy go head to head in races, treasure hunting, go-karting, mech shooting. It's basically the story mode plus some more kart racing from the story mode, and battles and stuff involving the Chow. Everything you can do in single player is made into a multiplayer focus, and it works surprisingly well and is, to be honest, probably the best multiplayer Sonic has to offer. So admittedly, everything I've said so far seems to be very hit, and there's been no misses. Well, there has been a miss, but not many. But that's because I haven't exactly been sharing my opinions on the negatives, rather I've just been detailing what the game offers. You see, I can admit there is a lot this game does right, but it doesn't quite click with me. The story I do enjoy a lot, mainly thanks to the characters, their portrayals here, featuring the best cast for these characters no doubt, but does that complement everything else? Well, no. The gameplay is probably my biggest problem. The speed stages are fine like I've said, and I don't have much issue with the treasure hunting stages either. It's just the mech stages and in some cases the treasure hunting. There's a reason I will not play them willingly. They are not fun. I know I said I don't mind them, but that doesn't mean I like them. Coming off of City Escape, one of the best stages in Sonic history, you really think I'm going to want to play Wild Canyon? I mean, yes, I get its diversity, but it's just not making a great impression. The Dark Story doesn't have you play Shadow for a good while either. Also, the cutscenes can be quite excessive, and I get that this is a narrative-focused game, but my god, they're everywhere! You know, I want to play the next zone already. I've watched 5 minutes of cutscenes. This is excusable for the last story because that's where the meat and potatoes are, but everywhere else, I mean, short, sweet, and to the point in the future, please. Sonic Heroes got that right, but the only problem is with that game, there wasn't enough of the narrative. I do not mind cutscene-focused games. One of my favourite games of all time is God of War 2018, Final Fantasy VII Remake, the original Final Fantasy VII for that matter. Games like that are some of my favourite games of all time. But I'm playing a 3D platformer that focuses on speed and it emphasises that fun gameplay. And if you're not going to allow me to play that, then I'm going to get a little bit bored and uninterested, especially if what's going on the screen isn't exactly holding my interest. You know, it wouldn't be a problem if I was just engaged in the narrative, but I'm not all the time. Some scenes like Eggman's Ransom, you know, Sonic and Shadow Showdown, the last cutscene, Sonic's opening, to name a few, are all very entertaining cutscenes and the best in the series if you ask me. And I refuse to skip them, no matter how many times I see them. But most of the others, like Knuckles and Rouge's first confrontation, more scenes involving Tails, the President scene, the talk outside of the pyramid before Pyramid Cave, I'm just not all that for them in all honesty. I do think that they can be a little bit boring. I'd rather go without, and I will admit that the story does kick ass, but that's thanks to the characters if anything. And what is with the hype around the rest of the game's content? Yes, it is nice to have more stuff to do, but I am not interested in the Chow Garden, I do not care for the kart racing, and I do not get much enjoyment from the challenges of each stage. Well, beside the speed stages, that is. They don't sound like much of an issue, but these complaints amalgamate into my inability to just click with Sonic Adventure 2. You know, I play games like many of you to have fun and to lose myself in the world, and I can indeed have fun with Sonic Adventure 2, and I can indeed lose myself in the narrative and the world and the characters and all that lovely jubbly. But I just can't do that the whole time that I'm playing, and I can't do that to everything on offer that supposedly makes the game so good, you know. Sonic Adventure 2 is a fantastic video game, it's a fantastic Sonic game, but Christ almighty, it's nowhere near the best. I understand if you want to crucify me at this point, but it's just my opinion at the end of the day. You can keep enjoying the game, and I'm going to let you keep enjoying the game, you know? You do you. In the end, I'm happy for you. I'm just another asshole on the internet talking about video games. I love seeing people praise Sonic Adventure 2 in hopes that I'll eventually feel the same way about this game. But until then, I can only live and learn. People have begged for this game to get a remake for years now, and I'm not talking about Sonic Colors Ultimate Treatment either. I mean a full-blown from the ground up remake, insane trilogy style. Is this an idea I'm against? No. I would actually love for this to happen. I think this would be a fantastic opportunity for more new fans to see Sonic's past celebrated in a more sophisticated manner. Bring back the old audience and make Sega a lot of money. Just please go for a trusted studio. And I don't mean to the bare minimum. Make it worth my time and my money. Sonic Adventure 2 is one of those games my opinion will always change on because sometimes I'll enjoy it more than the last, but that momentum is soon lost after I finish a speed stage. I only love sections of SA2, like most people and their relationship with Unleashed, or 6, or even SA1. In my case, I can't let that brilliant narrative boost the game up for me, simply because playing through it to experience that narrative, no matter how many times I do it, it never satisfies me. Regardless of this, I only have one more thing to say regarding my thoughts on what Sega needs to do with SA2, whether that's now for the 30th anniversary or a little bit later. Since it is of course the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, I do believe it would be worth doing a re-release of Sonic Adventure 2 once again. Now I know we are getting the Sonic Origins collection sometime in 2022, but honestly I really don't think that justifies a 30th anniversary collection in my opinion. We have thousands of ways to play Sonic 1 and 2 at this rate. Sonic 3 and Knuckles I can appreciate more because that is more of a put to the side kind of game due to other reasons. But when it comes to games like the Dreamcast era games, so SA1, SA2, Heroes, out of the Hedgehog, and then games thereafter, Sonic 06, the storybook games Unleashed, we have no solid way to play them apart from on the original hardware, which is why I think Sega is going to benefit massively if they re-release it. If you've been anywhere on the internet in the past, 5 years, you would know that there is a huge demand for games like Sonic Unleashed, the storybook games, some cases Sonic 06, and especially the adventure era titles to be re-released for modern hardware. And that doesn't include Steam because I know quite a few of them are already on there. I'm talking PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox equivalents, all that good stuff, Nintendo Switch, current and next gen consoles, not PC, even though we would want that as well. And I'm talking about Steam, not Epic Games Store at home. Anyways, so yeah, there is a huge demand. This will make a lot of money if they do it, and if they just want to do a simple port with no upgrades, that's fine. Just port it and make sure they run smoothly. I'm looking at you, Sonic Unleashed, and there you go, easy money. You'll be called lazy by the consumer, but that didn't stop Mario 3D All-Stars from making a lot of money, did it? That game's still on shelves, sure, but like I said, it made money and that's what's important. Sonic can do the same thing and benefit. But if they want to go the extra mile to earn that consumer trust even more, they can give them upscales, if not full remasters, each and re-released for $60 at a price tag that is actually worth paying, because if you get 4 or 3 remastered games for $60, it's a lot better than paying $60 for 3 straight ports of certain Nintendo titles, just with some minor upscales that you could do on Dolphin. That's all I want to say about Mario 3D All-Stars. It was abysmal, but it didn't stop me from buying it. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Sonic Adventure 2 deserves a good treatment, as well as the games that go alongside it, because the fan favourites, people have loved these games for years now. They've passed them down to their children, and I do think it would be wrong for Sega to do them a disservice. So if you do want to do anything with SA2 in the future, Sega, please listen to the fans, give them a full remaster or a remake. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you all join me next time when we talk about Sonic and the Black Knight, and then finally for the final episode where we discuss Crush 40. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.